What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, more information, more opinions, more breakdowns for the highly anticipated, undefeated, undisputed welterweight showdown between two of the top five best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford and Errol the True Spence Jr. With that said, the betting odds have came out, and Terence Crawford is minus 125 betting favorite to beat Errol Spence. That's extremely close. It states that if you bet $100 on Terence Crawford, you'll win $180. So you'll win essentially a profit of $80 if Terence Crawford wins, which is not a lot of money. So the betting odds are extremely close for this fight. That just lets you know how close of a fight and how competitive a fight we are in for between the two. And so, legendary retired Hall of Fame trainer and colorful analyst, boxing pundit, and one of the boxing minds, best boxing minds in the sport of boxing, Teddy Atlas also weighed in, and he gave his thoughts that he feels like Terence Crawford definitely should be the betting favorite in this fight. And he stated that Terence Crawford is a junkyard dog, right? So he stated that Terence Crawford is a junkyard dog. Errol Spence is a good, technical, fundamentally sound pressure fighter who's strong and has skills. But he stated that Terence Crawford is just more versatile, more quick, and has power, right? And he's a junkyard dog, as Teddy Atlas put it. Now, Teddy Atlas also understands that Errol Spence is a dog as well, okay? There's nobody that's, confusing Errol Spence with not being a dog after his few fights that he had that displayed that dog mentality. His first title opportunity, May of 2017, when he went to the UK for his first title opportunity, took on the IBF welterweight world champion British superstar boxer Special K Kell Brook in his hometown in the UK in a hostile environment for his first title opportunity, and had a nip and tuck back and forth dog fight with Kell Brook, and he came out victorious by stopping Kell Brook in the 11th round of that fight, right? So he showed all the dog in him, and he stopped Kell Brook in the 11th round of the fight, right? And then he had a unification bout that was nip and tuck, that was a dog fight back in September of 2019 when he faced off against two-time welterweight world champion superstar, now retired future Hall of Famer in Showtime Sean Porter, in which he was in a nip and tuck back and forth dog fight with Sean Porter, and he showed his grit and he showed his dog in that fight, right? 1000%, we understand that Errol Spence is a dog as well, okay? Teddy Atlas is pointing to the fact that when you look at Terence Crawford, he just comes across as being a little meaner in the ring. But Errol Spence, his last fight with Yordenis Ugas, April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T, Dallas Cowboys Stadium. He broke Yordenis Ugas down, literally, breaking his nose, ribs, and orbital bone, getting a 10th round stoppage, okay? So we know that Errol Spence is a dog, and he's a natural southpaw, and he's a natural welterweight, as Teddy Atlas stated. So the betting odds are where I believe that they should be. Now, I'm not saying that Terence Crawford should be the favorite or he shouldn't be the favorite, but I'm saying as far as the betting odds go, they should be this close, because this is a true 50-50 fight if we ever had one in the sport of boxing. And so when you look back at Terence Crawford's career, the last time Terence Crawford had a fight go the distance was November of 2014 when he fought Beltran. Okay, again, November of 2014. He's going on 10 years since the last time he went a decision. 10 years. Okay, and all he did was his opposition get better in that 10-year span. Now, the difference is Errol Spence has fought arguably the better opposition, because he's in a better division and he had, more better opposition at his discretion, right? So with that said, Errol Spence, he fought the Sean Porters of the world in a unification bout. He went to the UK and fought Kell Brook, okay? He fought your Dana Sugas in the unification. He fought Mikey Garcia when Mikey Garcia was considered top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world. He fought Danny Garcia as well. So he has those marquee big names on his resume. But again, Terence Crawford from Raimundo Beltran, that was November of 2014. That went to a unanimous decision. Since then, he has not had a fight go a decision, okay? No, I'm wrong. He did fight Victor Postal, and Victor Postal fight went to decision. That was in 2016. But he dropped Victor Postal twice in that fight as well. He won a unanimous decision in a unification bout. That was July of 2016. So he did go a decision in July of 2016. But Terence Crawford has knocked out or stopped, I believe 13 or 12 of his last 14 opponents. So, he's very versatile, power in both hands. He fights switches from southpaw to orthodox, extremely long arms, high ring IQ, and can be slick on defense. Errol Spence showed his versatility in his fight with Mikey Garcia when he chose to box, because anybody in their right mind understands that if Errol Spence chooses to walk down Mikey Garcia and get physical with Mikey Garcia the same manner he did with your Dana Sugas or Kell Brook, he very well could have, like he did with Lamont Peterson. Nothing would have stopped him from just walking down Mikey Garcia and breaking him down and stopping him. But because the world stated that if there was going to be a boxing match, that Errol Spence was going to get outboxed and he was going to lose. And Errol Spence, he decided to beat Mikey Garcia at his game. When you have people like Sugar Ray Leonard, who Errol Spence looked up to, saying that Mikey Garcia was going to win the fight in the boxing match because he was simply Mikey Garcia and nothing else needed more to be said, because that's just how good Mikey Garcia is. So Errol Spence, he wanted to prove a point, and he did just that, outboxing Mikey Garcia, dominate Mikey Garcia, and win in a unanimous decision, as rightfully so, against Mikey Garcia. But the boxing world wasn't happy with that, because many people looked at Mikey Garcia as a smaller guy, which he was. But now keep in mind, Mikey Garcia, 4 out of his last 5 fights was at junior welterweight. Okay, so he won the world title at junior welterweight, 140. So he jumped up one division. But people looked at Mikey Garcia and they said, well, Mikey Garcia is a lightweight that jumped up to welterweight, and, Errol Spence couldn't stop him. Well, we know that in the past, we saw that happen with the greats, and Mikey Garcia was considered a great and a top 5 pound for pound. Roberto Duran was the man who jumped up from 135 to 147, challenged and beat Sugar Ray Leonard, put the first blemish on Sugar Ray Leonard's resume, and Mikey Garcia was looked at in the same light, and he was attempting to do the same thing, and people actually thought that he could. But as soon as Errol Spence defeated Mikey Garcia, all the excuses started to pop out like Sonic the Hedgehog when he landed on the spikes, and all your coins start to fly out. That's how they started to make up excuses for that fight and say that Errol Spence was exposed because he couldn't stop little Mikey Garcia. Well, that wasn't the case. Mikey Garcia was considered a top 5 pound for pound best fighter in the world, and he just simply wasn't getting his credit for it. That being Errol Spence for beating Mikey Garcia. As we knew, he was in a lose-lose situation. If he was to get in a close fight with Mikey Garcia, they would say he got exposed. And if he stopped Mikey Garcia, they was going to say, well, he was supposed to do that. So he was in a lose-lose situation when it came to the fight with Mikey Garcia. Nonetheless, he dominated him. So these are the fights. Errol Spence has more marquee names on his resume than Terence Crawford does. And then Terence Crawford did land the Showtime Sean Porter fight 2 years after Errol Spence already beat him in the unification. And he also landed the Kell Brook fight 3 years after Errol Spence already stopped him in the 11th round and broke his orbital bone. So with that said, he just don't get the credit either, right? So this is truly a 50-50 fight. And I don't believe that Terence Crawford has more dog in him than Errol Spence. I think the dog level is on the same. I think they both have rated 10 in the dog department. So when Teddy Atlas says that Terence Crawford is just a junkyard dog and that's why he's going to win, I think he's misunderstanding that they both junkyard dogs. And this is going to be a brutal, high-speed chess match. And that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Make sure y'all let me know. Is Terence Crawford rightfully the favorite?